The race for AI dominance is really heating up. We've got these tech giants spending billions and billions of dollars to build bigger and bigger models. But what if the winning strategy isn't about building at all? Today, we're diving into a really radical new idea coming out of Tokyo that could literally change everything. What if we could breed AI instead? Right now, the entire world of AI feels like a high-stakes arms race. The prevailing wisdom is pretty simple. Bigger is better. You just throw more data, more computing power, and frankly, more money at the problem to create these absolutely massive, monolithic AI models from the ground up. But, as you can imagine, this race comes with a staggering cost. So, this startup in Tokyo, which, by the way, was founded by some of the original thinkers behind modern AI, is challenging this whole approach. They're taking a step back and asking a fundamentally different question. And that question isn't inspired by computer engineering. It's inspired by biology. Think about it. Instead of trying to manufacture one single perfect machine, what if you could cultivate an entire ecosystem of AI that evolves all on its own? This, my friends, is the story of Sakana AI. Okay, let's get into it. To really get why Sakana AI's idea is so revolutionary, we first have to understand the problem they're up against, the frankly unsustainable cost of the current AI boom. So the current playbook is all about scale. Companies are sinking billions into building a single, enormous model, basically hoping its sheer size will somehow lead to a breakthrough in intelligence. I mean, it's a brute force approach that's shown some results, sure, but the price tag is incredibly steep. And that price is becoming a massive barrier to entry. We're talking a huge energy consumption, financial costs that only a tiny handful of global tech giants can even dream of affording, and it creates a development path that pretty much locks out any newcomers. For a country like Japan trying to win by just outspending everyone on computing power, it's just not going to happen. So what's the alternative then? Well, Sakana AI, led by David Ha, formerly of Google Brain, and Lion Jones, who was one of the co-authors of the legendary Attention is All You Need paper that basically created the entire transformer architecture, well, they looked to nature for an answer. And this slide just illustrates their core idea so perfectly. The old way is like manufacturing, right? Building one giant, perfect, and super expensive machine. Sakana's way is more like cultivation. You're nurturing a diverse ecosystem of many smaller, specialized AIs that can interact, combine, and evolve. It's a total shift from brute force to elegant evolution. So how in the world do you actually breed AI? I mean, this isn't just a clever metaphor. The tech behind it is a pretty groundbreaking technique called MT2N2, which stands for Model Merging of Natural Niches. And yeah, it's inspired directly by Darwinian evolution. Now, what's so cool here is how they break this complex process down. First, you create competition. You make data a limited resource, which forces the models to specialize, to find a unique niche, just to survive. Second, you have smart mating. The system is smart. It doesn't just randomly pair models. It finds partners that complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. And third, flexible gene swapping. M2 can blend bits and pieces of these models at any point, creating truly new combinations, just like genetic crossover works in nature. And here it is. This is the killer advantage. This whole process is gradient-free. Now, that's a technical term, but think of it this way. Instead of having to painstakingly reteach a brand new model everything from scratch, which costs a fortune, this method lets you instantly merge the brains of existing, fully trained models. You get a brand new, powerful combination without the insane cost of retraining. It's a total game changer. And the results are just fascinating. They took one model that was a math whiz and another that was really good at web-based tasks. They merged them using M2N2, and the result? A new hybrid model that excelled at both things. It didn't suffer from what's called catastrophic forgetting, where an AI learns a new skill but forgets an old one. It kept both skills perfectly. But here's where it gets really surprising, and it shows that this is way more than just a simple mashup. The team took a Japanese language image generation model and merged it with several English language models. Get this, the new AI didn't just understand both languages, it developed what's called an emergent ability, something totally unexpected. It could understand English better than any of its parent models. It even learned to interpret bilingual prompts like "a cat sitting on tatami," which is a skill none of the originals had. This is proof that M2N2 can create something genuinely new and more capable than the sum of its parts. Okay, so this whole evolutionary approach, it's building towards an even more ambitious vision. I mean, if you can evolve AI models, what's the next logical step? Well, how about getting AI to evolve itself through the actual process of scientific discovery? And this leads to a pretty profound question about the future of innovation itself, right? Can we actually automate the entire scientific method, all the way from the initial hypothesis to the final publication? Well, Sakana AI's answer is a project they call the AI Scientist, and it's an autonomous agent designed to do exactly that. It can come up with a research idea, write the code to run an experiment, analyze the results, and then even write up a formal academic paper about it, the whole shebang. And this isn't just some theory. It has already hit a historic milestone. A paper written entirely by the AI scientist with no human intervention was submitted to a workshop at a top AI conference, and it passed the double-blind peer review process. That means human experts couldn't even tell it was written by an AI. Incredible. So what's even more mind-blowing is the cost. Sakana AI estimates that the cost to take one research idea and generate a complete paper draft is just $15. 15. This could dramatically accelerate and democratize scientific research for everyone on the planet. And when cutting-edge research costs $15, it doesn't just change things for companies. It redraws the entire geopolitical map for artificial intelligence. This brings us to a really critical geopolitical idea, sovereign AI. The concept is that a nation shouldn't be completely dependent on AI platforms controlled by a few foreign tech companies. Instead, it should have the ability to build and control its own AI, one that's tailored to its own culture, its own language, and its own strategic interests. And Sakana AI's approach, it's a perfect match for this strategy. For Japan, a nation that imports most of its energy and just can't compete with the US and China on raw spending, this low-cost, energy-efficient method offers a real path to technological independence. It allows them to create AI that is truly Japanese, and it could position the country as a powerful third pole in the global AI landscape. Which leaves us with one final, fascinating question to chew on. The old way of building AI created a world of a few giant dinosaurs. But Sakana AI's work suggests we might be at the dawn of a new Cambrian explosion, a vibrant, diverse, and rapidly evolving ecosystem of intelligence. And if that's true, well, that could change absolutely everything.